Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach Robertson. Starting off a new segment here. Gonna try it out. Tactics. Going through tactics. We'll call it Tactics Tuesday for now. I'll start releasing it every Tuesday. I want to give you guys an intro into tactics, what they are, and why they're beneficial for you, for anybody who hasn't actually used these before. And then some tips and tricks to get on to try to help certain things that you might not understand or help with stuff like that. So my favorite place to do these is leechess.org because it's all free. Chess.com, you can only do a few per day, 5 per day I think it is, without having a paid membership. So leechess.org is going to be the best one for that. When you're on their home screen here, you can just hit learn and puzzles. They call them puzzles on here. Tactics, same thing. And so this is going to be the what any pretty much tactic looks like. It's going to give you a position, and it is a puzzle. You're going to have to figure out the best move. There's only going to be one best move, and it might be a series of moves, and you need to find the correct one in order to win. And you need to do it the first time, otherwise you lose your points on your rating. And but the real thing on here is you want to make sure that when you do miss it, you learn why. And the more you do these puzzles, the more easier you'll be able to find them in game. If you're playing a game, you might see a tactic that you can use to win that match that you're playing. So the more often you do these, and the better you get at these, the easier you'll be able to find them in game. So it gives us this here, for instance, and we're just in a mix of everything, so we don't know what is thrown at us. We don't know if it's a mate in 3 or if we're looking for getting a pawn passed or what right now. So we want to look at it, kind of analyze the board. We can see that for piece-wise, we are even in material, except that he's looks like white's up a pawn. Nope, white's up 2 pawns. White's up 2 pawns. He has a pass pawn here that we don't want to let him get promoted. We do not have any pass pawns. His pieces are all up in our territory, so the king has pretty much nowhere to move except we could take this pawn. Yeah, we've got a few places to move, actually. And then, but we're not under immediate threat of checkmate, it doesn't look like. We've got a knight on a knight's outpost here, protected by our pawn. And looks like the king doesn't have, can't come forward very much. It looks like we're really trying to prevent this pawn from being passed. So looking at this face value, we might think we can go ahead and just take this pawn, but that might be the answer. Might be something deeper, underlying deeper than that. So let's look at it for a second here. Looks also like they're trying to, they're double teaming this pawn here. Could end up capturing it. The king is running out of moves here. I almost think that just taking this pawn is best. Yep. Then he takes the knight because we're threatening a hook mate here. And we take back. Okay, cool. And the reason that was because he was threatening a hook mate. So then see, we got +8 on our rating, and we can move on to the next one. Let's do one more here. He just took our rook, so he's pinning our rook to our king at the moment. It looks like a pretty easy first move is probably going to be a capture, but let's make sure. Let's look at his king and see how trapped he is. This pawn is protecting both these squares. So the king can only move 2 places, which kind of looks telling, like we might be able to checkmate coming up. It might even be forcing. So we can look and see a couple moves ahead. If we, let's say we move our knight here. We check the king. He has 1 place, and a lot of these are going to be forcing because we don't want to give the computer different moves they can do. Usually on tactics, it's going to be forcing, and they have to move something, or they're going to have one best move to try to get out of something that's not going to work. So if we go here, he is forced to move here, and once the king is here, can we do anything else? Well, The king will be able to move here only then if we attack him again. So a check here would push the king here. And then, see, that doesn't look very productive right now. So we're going to go ahead and take the, see, that was wrong. All right, so let's go ahead and see what happens. We do the check first, like we thought, and then the second check. That's what was wrong. So from here, we know the king can't go here, here, here. So maybe we want to block off this square too, but we don't want to get taken. Okay, and then that was the time to take. So we checked first, and then we took. The point being behind this, that just taking, we might not get that check in later, I guess. So, okay. So we'll move on. Let's do one more. So it looks like here, queen is on our second rank here. And let's see, we've got a queen. Looks like we've got a discovered attack if we move the rook. We're also keeping the king on this 8th file because he can't move here because of our rook. So it looks fun to do throw a check in here with the bishop and or with the queen. And there's no real way he can block this. If he tries to block with rook, we'll take because this is protecting that square. So check with the queen, and I'm not actually moving this here because it's good for us to visualize this. It's good for, this is what tactics are for. We're practicing visualizing in our head. If you're playing over the board, you can't use an analysis to see what happens here, here, and here. You need to learn to do this in your head, which is it can be very hard, especially starting out. But the more you do tactics like this, the better you'll get at it, and it'll train your brain to think ahead in terms of moves. So this is this seems good because it's forcing him to either go here or here. And if he goes here, excuse me, we'll probably come and we might come and check and then take. That seems fun. So let's go here. Yep, he moves here, and we've got this knight coming up that can protect here as well. So I feel like if we go ahead and take this pawn here, we'll be sacrificing our rook, and after he takes that, we can throw this. See, I'm going through different options to see if what works here and what doesn't. Not every option is going to be correct, obviously, but you know, you want to think through them to see what will work and what won't work. I'm kind of liking this take here, just because after he takes back, we take his rook, and he's in a heck of a predicament. But there's also the knight move here. But no, the knight move there doesn't work because he comes and attacks with tempo, and that just doesn't work. So I believe taking here is probably the right move. That's wrong. Okay, so let's try one more time here. My other thought was this, and that is correct. Okay, so I was right about the knight. That's threatening checkmate here, and looks like that might be unavoidable. Let's just look deeper, just to see what I was worried about here. So he checks the king. We go here, and yeah, it looks like I didn't have much to be worried about, like I might have thought. Because after check, take, and then and checkmate. So I hadn't thought that all the way through. Did see that as an option, but you know, didn't catch that it was the right option. Okay, so with tactics, we can also, let's say we want to work on one specific thing. There's a lot of things called tactical motifs, and so if you want to do that, where it says healthy mix here, we can change that and go into work on specific things that we might want to work on our own game. So we can go and look at parts of the game, an opening, middle game, end game, certain end games, and then all these motifs, which are actual, you know, across platform tactical motifs are known things. So if we're doing going over forks, then these are all going to be tactics or puzzles about forking your opponent with the knight or bishop or whatever you do. Someone's going to be going over queenside attacks, going to go attacking the exposed king, or stuff like that. And then we can also go into all these different things, Zugzwing, and they've got ones for mate. So if you just want to find out a checkmate in 2, so let's pull that up. So we know this is going to be a mate in 2 if we want to work on that, right? So we can go ahead and think here. This one seems pretty self-explanatory. When I sacrifice the queen and then checkmate, and obviously it wasn't. It was rated. Oh, it was rated 19, about 2000. But so we know all these are going to be mate in 2. So it makes it a little easier for ourselves, especially if we're having trouble with something. Maybe we miss a lot of checkmates. Then we want to go through this and see if we can do better. So for instance, this one would be that, and then some other. So certain things like that we might want to practice. So this is a great platform to go through our tactics. This is what I'm going to be using on all my Tactics Tuesday videos to help instruct and show you different things. We'll go through all these motifs eventually. I'll show you all these advanced, made, special moves. We'll go through all of it and have a lot of fun with that. So let me know what you think. If you have any questions on this, message me, hit me up. And I think that's all I have for today on tactics. Like, subscribe, and let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.